Oh my God, Steve, help!
What?
I've just noticed that I am nude from the pants up. What am I to do?
Wow, you're Putin it.
Exactly, yeah. I'm getting that rock and roll Putin look, and I am just not fond of it. My nipples are exposed, as well as my chest hair.
Let me tell you, Ben, this is very fortunate for you, because today's show is sponsored by Clairvoyant Clothing.
Oh my God, Clairvoyant Clothing? That sounds like something I could probably find on Instagram.
Why, you could, at Clairvoyant Clothing Company.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. What are they going to do for me to help me with my upper nudity situation? Upper nudity.
Upper nudity. Well, Ben, Clairvoyant Clothing is a horror and occult-themed casual clothing brand. They offer large, eye-catching designs, as well as small chest pocket prints, and even plain black tees, if that's more your style.
Oh, man. You know what? I formerly was really into plain white tees, but I'm past that phase now. But, Steven, I don't have tons of money in my pocket right now. Whatever am I to do? Are these expensive?
Wow. Ben, T-shirts and tank tops start at just $16.66.
That's the pricing of the beast.
The pricing of the beast. And sizes range from small to 3XL, so there's something for every gender, size, and shape.
I'll take mine in extra medium.
That's the mediumest.
The most medium of all. Wow, that's utterly fantastic, Steve. This is really going to help me get myself in line and get myself presentable to the public, because I really want to go to Benihana. They got that sign up front that says I got to wear a shirt. What's up with that bullshit?
I know, it's crazy. I don't know. Free the nipple, I say.
Exactly
there
right.
There you go.
I don't know what might be their best sellers. I might want to choose a popular one.
Well, they sent us their two best sellers, the Death Tarot card design and the Uncle Satan Wants You vintage poster design. They're best sellers. We put them on. I was digging it. Nice shirt, nice design. And we took some pictures. So you can go check out our Instagram, see what they look like.
All the cool kids are doing it.
And exclusive. Boom. Stop the fucking presses, everyone. They're offering a discount to Dead and Lovely listeners.
People listening to this show get a discount?
Yeah. Just go to clairvoyantclothing.com and use the coupon code Dead and Lovely. That's all one word, Dead and Lovely, for 6% off your order.
Oh my Lord, that's absolutely fantastic. Go check out Clairvoyant Clothing and start looking like one of the cool kids right now.
Woo!
Welcome, Dead and Lovely listeners, to a very special, very hungover episode of Dead and Lovely, your favorite horror movie podcast in the multiverse and beyond, where only a scant, maybe 8 hours ago, we were partying hard.
Yeah.
Getting our freak on, raging hard for my wife's birthday party here in this very
well into the morning hours.
Well into the wee hours of dawn.
Yeah.
And this is a very rare daytime appearance.
I know, the sun's out.
Yeah, this is very odd.
And our guns aren't. What the hell?
What the hell are we doing? We're fucking it all up, man.
Yep.
Sun's out, guns out. Shit. I do have my buns out, though.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
Yeah. You gotta get something out when that sun's out.
You're wearing assless chaps, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, like you do. And a clairvoyant t-shirt to top it off.
Awesome
Looking
Clairvoyant
real
t-shirts.
good.
Thank you to Clairvoyant sending us a couple other shirts. You'll see them in pictures on the Instagram.
Yeah. Maybe it's like that.
I almost said MySpace. We don't have a MySpace.
And once again,
we should.
Hangovers make your brain work great.
Yeah.
They work really, really good then.
It threw me back to 2003.
I've heard that photo that we're putting up on Instagram of us wearing these Clairvoyant shirts is already at the front runner of being the most masturbated to photo on Instagram 2019.
I've heard that. I have heard that.
Yeah. I mean,
I've masturbated
I'll
to
try
it.
it out.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to try the thing out, you know? I'm doing it right now.
Oh. Wow.
Look out. Yeah, we had ourselves a good old party last night, and now we're getting up to do this podcast here in the morning hours, which is very unusual for us, but I've got such a fucking crazy busy week. I can't be pulling one of these 3 in the morning late night podcast recordings.
No, you got shit to do.
Too much shit to do.
Gotta hang out with the fam.
Doing all that family stuff. My sister-in-law is in from China for just a few more days. So the next few days are just jam-packed full of familial fun and fuckery. And or fuckery. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, daytime podcast today. Hopefully we find out that we can still bring the lulls through very bad hangovers. What did you drink on last night, Steve?
Just vodka.
Yeah, I drank a lot of that
Just a
stuff
bunch
too.
of vodka.
I had a sip of several different beers that people were having.
Yeah,
I did have a whole beer. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, you
Joe
had that
gave me
Lagunitas
hazy little something.
hazy little something, and I took a drink of that.
That was
And man, that was
good.
good. Yeah.
Once again, Lagunitas brings the pain.
They do.
They've got what it takes. They've got what it takes. I drank a lot of Moscow Mules.
Oh, okay. I was
Last
just
night.
drinking vodka, soda, lime.
Yeah.
Boring. Zero carbs.
Whatever.
Yuck.
It is good though.
It's fine. I mean,
It's fine.
I'm not gonna let my diet take the fun out of getting drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to drink beers all the time or whatever, but fuck yeah, I'm gonna drink some vodka, soda, lime, and have a good time.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
I recently discovered to make a great homemade Moscow Mule,
Yeah.
you need to go to the store, go to where they keep them mixers, and get yourself some spectacular ginger beer.
Yeah, you need ginger beer. Absolutely.
Not a sponsor. They're not sponsors
Yeah.
or anything. I'm just telling you guys, spectacular
You like
brand
Spectacular?
ginger beer. Oh my god,
My
it's the best.
favorite is the Trader Joe's brand.
I haven't had that.
It's extra gingery and so fucking good.
That's what I like about the Spectacular is that it's less sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's just sweetened with like maybe agave syrup or cane sugar, but there's no corn syrup in it.
Yeah.
Because all those other ones, like your, what's the one with the black seal on it? I can't remember. Like Barbados, all those have like a ton of corn syrup in them.
Right.
It just tastes like shitty
Cock and
ginger
Bull,
ale.
have you had that?
No, I haven't had that.
That one's alcoholic and it's just not very good.
Krabby's is alcoholic. It's actually pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
It's not bad at all. You need to try that shit from Ginger's Revenge in Asheville. Have you
Oh
had
yeah?
any of those?
No.
It's a distillery brewery in Asheville that only does ginger beer.
Oh, okay.
And dude, they have some incredible shit. They have one that's like a pear and rosemary ginger beer.
All right.
I had a hibiscus one last time we were there. Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
but for the
I need
store-bought-
it to have a good spice to it. I
Yeah.
want it to burn the shit out of my
Well, that's
mouth.
what I like about the Spectacular is that it's got a shit ton of ginger in it.
Yeah.
And it's also got like chili extract in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so it's just
Okay.
got a little extra snap
Little
to
oomph
it.
to it, yeah.
It's not the kind of thing where you're like, my mouth is on fire. It's not
Right.
like that kind of thing. But, you know, just like if you ever like lick a piece of fresh ginger, it's kind of spicy.
Yeah, it is.
It has a little bit of that going
I
on to
love,
it.
man, ginger. That'll cure what ails you. If you're ever sick, make yourself some ramen and put in way more ginger than you normally would. Just slurp that down.
It'll get good
buddy.
to you. It'll
Yeah,
get real good
clear
to
out
you.
those sinuses.
So I didn't actually get too fucked up last night. I didn't rage too
Yeah, no,
hard.
I didn't black out or anything. I remember everything we did.
Yeah.
We were up very late.
Yeah, same.
Hanging out. This morning, I woke up and I was like, I think I drank more than I thought I did.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where usually it's the kind of thing where I'll wake up at like 6:30 in the morning to like get up and pee.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh no, I've done it again. You know, and that was definitely the case this morning. I woke up and I was like, well, fuck.
That was a bad choice.
Yeah, I didn't drink that much, but you know, I just kind of ate a bunch of like party food. So I was just snacking
yeah.
on chips and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like that's not what you need when you're dehydrating yourself further by drinking booze.
And all I was doing was eating meat and cheese, nothing to absorb it.
Dude.
I didn't eat anything that could have absorbed some of that alcohol. It was just meat and cheese.
During my brief flirtations with like trying to do a low carb thing, it led to the most righteous, ridiculous hangovers
Yeah.
I've probably ever had in my
'cause
life.
You
man.
just got nothing soaking everything up.
You got to build that bread base up,
Hell
you know?
yeah.
And I did not really get to do that last night, so whoo, man. Plus, I think it might have something to do with being 35 years old.
That's true. You're older now.
Yeah.
Once you get a little bit older, you can't drink like you used to.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
shame.
Do you remember like the first time that you had that hangover where it was like, oh no, I can't party like I used to?
Oh shit. Well, okay. So I was Mormon for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I hadn't drank in 10 years, and then Emily and I started drinking some, but it wasn't like hardcore raging. But I remember, I'm pretty sure it was after one of your Halloween parties that like I just woke up the next day and was like your mouth just is both dry and taste like shit.
Oh God, I hate it.
And then like, yeah, your stomach is just like, I hate you. Eat something, and then you eat something. It's like, I hate you. Vomit.
That's not good enough either. Fuck you.
I think it was after one of your Halloween parties where I woke up and I was like, right, this was what a hangover's like, and it's way worse now.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I remember, like, you know, when you're in your 20s and stuff and you're partying in college and everything, it's like you can drink any combination of anything.
Yeah.
And wake up the next day and be like, fine.
Throw it all together.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'll
it's
have a tequila gin mix.
Oh, man. Dude, one of the first times that I remember being like, well, can't do this anymore, was one of the first really extremely bad hangovers that I had. It was at a huge party that we were throwing over at Kate's parents' house. It was like it was a going away party for a good friend of ours.
Wasn't a go away party, though.
It wasn't a go away. Go on, get party. We were getting rid of Harry from Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Go on.
Get out of here.
Get. Go on.
Nobody loves you.
Oh, he did say that. So cruel.
It was.
And that night, I just got way too wrecked. And I remember specifically, I had a big combination of whiskey and vodka, which even now, I can't say whiskey and vodka and not feel my stomach turn a little bit. And the next morning, dude, I got up and I had to teach the very first like big group lesson that we were hosting at the Guitar Vault. At that time, it was called the Fret Store. It was a different shop back then. But we used to do these like free group lessons on like Saturday mornings at like 9 in the morning or some shit like this. God. And I was up to do the very first one. And I woke up that morning. We stayed the night over there. I woke up and I remember looking in the mirror and being like, I look like a corpse. And I went and I taught this group lesson with like clammy corpse hands, like my hands like shaking and stuff, you know?
I bet people were like, man, that dude's metal as fuck.
Yeah, he's fucking wrecked. I think I was still a little drunk that morning. And I just remember the whole day being like, I feel like I'm going to die.
That is the worst, when you have the hangover, but you still feel drunk.
Oh, dude.
And you're just like, your brain doesn't work enough to take care of yourself. Like,
especially for me, too. Like, trying to play guitar with a hangover is like playing with somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
It's like nothing works the way that it should.
Yeah, I get the fumbleitis, the dropsies.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That is definitely one of my symptoms.
Yeah, you're just holding your phone up above your head in bed and just drop it on your face.
Oh, dude.
I've done that so many times.
That's one of those where you just get mad at yourself. Yeah. You're like, I probably deserved that. I'm an asshole. What are your like hangover symptoms? Everybody's hangover kind of hits them differently. What's yours?
I eat a lot of stomach stuff.
Yeah, dude. That's what we call the old party butt.
Yeah, I'm a
bad case of party butt.
Easy puker, and yeah, I'll
easy
also
puker. He's gonna puke.
If it doesn't come out that way,
toilet.
it's gonna come out the other way.
Yeah. Either way, stuff's gotta go. Everything must go.
It's the worst. Sometimes
like
I get the headache, and it's one of those headaches that doesn't go away.
You can't do anything.
There's literally nothing to do.
Yeah. That's because like your brain is dehydrated and shrinking and like peeling away from the lining of your skull. I remember after I learned that and then being like, yeah, that's exactly what that feels like. Yep. Makes sense.
So I hate it. I usually try to stay pretty hydrated to avoid that at all costs. Like, I'll still get other symptoms, but if I get the headache, I know I fucked up. Yeah. And it's gonna be a real bad day.
I think because I am just an adamant anti-puker, you know, where it's like, I will not throw up under any circumstance.
Tell your body, no!
I do, yeah. It's like, you'll feel bad all day, but it's still better than throwing up once in my book. So I don't throw up, but I usually just retain this just like horrible nausea for like hours and hours and hours. So like right now I'm just super like nauseous, you know? But it's like, I know I'm not gonna throw up, but I just don't feel good. Yeah. And like my thoughts get really cloudy too. Yeah. You know, it's like I feel like my brain is only running on like one cylinder. And like you're saying, I get the fumbles and stuff. Yeah. Like my coordination isn't really quite there.
Ain't no fun.
No, I'm not really.
But we sure had fun leading up to it.
Sure had a good time. Got to hang out with old Grayson last night. Grayson Hester was here. Long-time listener to the show and big old buddy of ours.
Yeah, and we've been wanting to get him on the show. We can just never seem to schedule it right.
Yeah.
So eventually we will have Grayson Hester on the show, and you'll all find out what an awesome guy he is.
Oh, yeah. No, that'll be really fun no matter what movie we end up doing. Yeah. He will add some great insights. He's a nice young man.
He sure is.
Just a model upright citizen right there.
Absolutely true, yeah.
Call him a good boy.
He is.
One of them good boys. Yeah, it was a fun party, so I'll say it was worth it.
Yeah, totally. I had a great time.
It won't be my last rodeo.
No. For sure it won't.
As a result of that, we're kind of changing up our selection of mystery fluids today. Usually
That's
on the
true.
show, if you've ever listened, you know we guys like to get a pull on some beers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But myself, I am sipping on some Pedialyte.
Yeah.
I'm sipping on some water. And the other holy trinity, a cold coffee. I need those things to get me well, Steve.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine if you were drinking something like a beer.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to drink a beer.
Get you a cold one out of there. What are you drinking on, Steve?
It looks like it's a Highland Brewing.
Highland.
It's also in collaboration with Sierra Nevada, so two
Great tastes
breweries that we
combined as
dig.
one.
Rustic IPA 25th Anniversary Ale. I don't know if we've had this on the show, but I've had this.
Yeah, I know that we had some, I think just while we were chatting or something
Yeah.
like that one time. It's good. It's like an IPA that has kind of hints of wit
Yeah.
beer
Yeah,
kind of things
okay.
going on to it. Or maybe like a Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of that cardamom kind of taste in there. And it's like a little spicy, you know?
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of hoppy and stuff, too.
Yeah, it's good.
Have you ever had that Highland AVL IPA?
Yes. That's a good
shit is
IPA.
Good,
Mhm.
man. That's probably
Highland's
my favorite.
nice,
they
man.
make.
Like their stouts are good too.
Their stouts are
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's actually probably the best stuff that they make. I think it's probably those.
Yeah.
So good.
I think Highland's probably one of the best Asheville breweries that you can get in a lot of places. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can get it everywhere, but you can get it a lot of places.
Yeah,
They got good
definitely.
distribution.
Yeah, you can find it at gas stations
Yeah.
and shit like that. Yeah, it's not up to the level of like Burial, but Burial doesn't distribute everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
Barrel's so good.
oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
I wish that they would bring it to Knoxville, man. Well, what have you been up to this week, Steve? Other than partying over here, man, what you been doing?
Let's see. What have I been doing? I went 24 hours without the internet. And no, it wasn't one of those I'm gonna unplug and unwind.
Yeah, mental
it was
health
one of
day.
those torturous 24-hour periods where
You had stuff planned, and now you fucking
had
can't.
a ton, and it was
Yeah.
like really coming down to the wire for the Friday night streaming chat.
Oh,
like
no.
the old modem stopped working. I won't go into what happened, but the old modem stopped working, and it got a new modem, and you have to go
it's
through
always
them
a
and
pain in the
register the
fucking ass.
fucking modem. I don't know why you can't just do it yourself. I don't get
don't
why you
know.
have to go through them. Anyway, so I was on the phone with them for over an hour and literally doing nothing. The thing is, at our place, there's no cell service inside our house.
Every time I try to call you, it just picks up voicemail
Yep.
at first ring.
Immediately, unless we have Wi-Fi, we have no access to the outside world. Because with Wi-Fi, you can use your Wi-Fi to boost your
Sure,
coverage.
yeah. This is kind of like being locked in a grocery store with an impending mist full of monsters all
That's
around.
kind of
you.
what
It's
it
kinda
felt
that.
like. I was like, what's the world doing right now? I don't know. It really was weird, though, because, like, I know that there is stuff to do not on the internet, but, like,
God, it's become such a part of our lives.
yeah,
all the time.
And it's my second brain. Like, if I think of something that I want to know about, I immediately look it up on the internet and I read about it.
Yeah.
So in that 24-hour period, I picked up my phone so many times, and it was just like, ugh, fuck.
That's usually what I do every time we do like a cruise gig. Because out there
Yeah.
on those cruises, you're out in the middle of the ocean. Of course, you don't have any
Yeah.
cell signal or anything like that. So for the first couple of days, I spend that like pulling my phone out of my pocket to say like Google something, and I'm like,
Nope.
oh yeah, this doesn't work either.
I mean, like, I really don't want to go back.
No.
I know that people enjoy unwinding and just getting away from all that, and I may one day want to do that myself, but it's
not right now.
I feel way more comfortable having the internet right there in my hand.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
man. So you got it all back in time to do the stream Friday,
Yeah,
right?
I got it done like 2 hours before that, and
Cool.
then I had to reset up my Wi-Fi and all that shit. So
We were out having a big old family dinner at Adopo that night,
Oh,
so I
awesome.
couldn't join. How was the stream? Did you guys watch anything good?
no, that's
Of
not
course,
what we
that's
do.
not the point.
Yeah, we watched Carnosaur 2. Now I didn't see the first one,
I was gonna say, do
so
I have to have seen the
I
first
was
one?
pretty lost.
Yeah. Previously on Carnosaur.
But apparently, it was recommended by Dave Bechet, and he said that they used a bunch of footage from the first movie.
Nice. Okay,
So-
great.
And honestly, hardly pay attention to most of these movies. I'm just paying attention to
about the hang.
the chat. Yeah.
Is it like a crappy like B movie kind of thing?
Yeah. It seemed like Sci-Fi Channel level stuff,
it,
but
yeah.
I don't remember much about it. Basically, there were raptors and it seemed to be kind of ripping off Jurassic Park, but like also aliens. Yeah.
Did any of them hit their dino head?
I bet they did. I didn't pay attention, but I bet one of them did. I mean, I know somebody said that on the chat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's catching on. What else do you guys watch?
Boy, what did we watch next, Ben? What we watched next may be one of the worst movies I have ever seen.
No doubt.
Hooker with a Hacksaw.
Hooker with a Hacksaw. Now, is this in the same series as maybe Hobo with a Shotgun?
I think that's what they were going for. It's from 2017, so yeah.
Oh, wow, it's newer.
It's newer. You can't tell that by the quality. It sure looks like it was shot on a Walmart Kodak digital camera.
Like a Motorola Razor. That's what they shot it on.
Yeah. The enraging thing, the director has directed 31 projects.
That's 31 more than we have. And we have some good ideas.
This was his 29th.
So he's been practicing.
No, he's not. He's been doing. He's not learned a damn thing, I don't think.
He's the Meg White of filmmaking.
I don't know. Like, it was enraging to watch. Like, there was no production design at all. It was just like, I think they must have just gone into places and started shooting. Like, they didn't make any effort to be like, hey, we're gonna, you know, make this look like it would look in a movie. Just like, no, let's keep these overhead fluorescent lights on, and we'll just talk to this random person, I guess.
And there's like traffic driving by in the background.
Yes,
and shit like that.
That happened several times.
Right.
The angles, like the angles of the shots, it's like, yeah, you just set up a camera, I guess.
That's how you do it. That's making a movie, right?
To have done that, this is your 29th time doing something.
Jesus.
And I can't imagine. Maybe he has learned a lot, but I'm not sure what it is.
Maybe it's just too highbrow for you, dude. Maybe
that's what he's going for.
Guerrilla improvisational freeform thing.
I did start thinking maybe it was like a punk rock type of like, we don't give a fuck about the design.
Yeah.
It's all about the message.
Hacksaw.
But the message of the movie was fucking bullshit. It was terrible. The acting was bad. The dialogue was terrible. There are two female characters, and they both have septum piercings, and they both have experience in phone sex work. And they just randomly meet. And like, it's so ridiculous. And then like when they show the hooker with the hacksaw, they just spend so much time showing her sawing back and forth and making no progress. And it's like, brevity would have helped you here. Show her start to do it, show blood spurt, and then cut to the next scene, because you don't have a good effect to make it look like you're actually sawing.
Yeah.
But instead, they just keep showing her going back and forth and back and forth, and it's like, you would be going into the skull.
When did Jim Dugan make an appearance?
Hacksaw.
Oh! That would have made the movie all the better. What if it was actually about a hooker with hacksaw Jim Dugan?
Okay, that would have been way better.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I'd have been much more on board.
Like, she just basically kind of like sets him forth to like maybe kill bad Johns and stuff like that. Back like, so like, hacksaw, go get him. Ho! Smacks him with a 2x4.
It's set in Manchester, Tennessee. There's actually one of the shots has a hotel sign in the background that says, "Welcome Bonnaroo." Whatever or something. So it was like during Bonnaroo that they were doing it, and it really feels like they were out in the field and like on something, and the guy was like, "Hey, we should just make a movie." And then they were like,
"Okay,
all right,
you guys want to make a movie today?"
Yep.
Yeah,
let's do it.
We did it.
Done. And then it ends on the dumbest note, like where basically this hooker with a hacksaw becomes a hero to women who hate men.
A hero with a hacksaw.
Yeah, and there's a lady who's telling her friend that she's gonna go buy a hacksaw.
This doesn't sound good, Steve.
It's real fucking bad. I'm so glad that Ryan recommended it, though, because it was perfect for this. It was so enraging. I had so much to say about it.
Everybody hate it?
Oh, yeah, everybody was not digging it, so it was way fun.
That's a good start to our upcoming hangout that we're having for the podcast. On the, 16th?
Yeah, August 16th, Friday. It'll be 2 days after this comes out. Yeah, we're going to be starting out at Crafty Bastard.
That's right.
And then moving around downtown, drinking all over the place. It's going to be fun.
We're going to drink the town red.
That's true. How do you drink? You drink so much that the town becomes red?
Be sure to hit us up on Facebook if you need more details. Or anything like
I'll
that,
put an
Instagram,
itinerary.
whatever.
Actually, the itinerary will be up before this episode comes out. So you'll know what we're doing.
So you guys be sure to come and hang out with your fellow dead and lovelies.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, last week I mentioned that we were going to be, instead of sipping on these recovery fluids, that I was going to make my signature jalapeno pineapple margarita and put up a video of that for the patrons and everything. That's still going to happen.
But not this week.
It's not going to happen today. Trust me, you do not want to see my ghastly hungover ass being like, and then you put the sugar in the water to make the syrup. Like puking in the sink while I'm trying to make this thing. That won't make you want to have a margarita if I was making it for you right now. Next week there will be a much more chipper, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed Uncle Ben showing you guys how to do that. And
I had noticed that your tail is looking a little limp.
today. No, it's looking non-bushy. What's the opposite of bushy? I was trying to come up with that. Non-bushy.
I don't know. Fallow.
I'm not really sure.
Skinny.
Either way, I don't have it. Tell you that. I ain't got it.
It's true.
So that drink video is still coming for you patrons and everything. It'll be happening next time. Hey, Patreon, we have one of those. Let's go ahead and plug that while people are still listening. Get it out there.
Hey, patreon.com/dead and lovely. Go over there. $5 a month. You can recommend a movie.
We do a drawing.
And we do a drawing. This movie that we're covering today, The Mist, was chosen last week.
That's right.
And damn it, I don't remember.
Can't remember who wrote it down.
2 people had submitted it, and I don't remember who they are. But thanks for your submission.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon and stuff. You guys be sure to go over there and check out those tiers. We're working up enough money to where we're going to get some merch out for you guys, some koozies and shirts and all kinds of good stuff too. We just got to work out the capital to do it, which we're pretty fucking close to. You guys
really
so
are.
great.
Yeah, you guys have been so kind and generous
so
to
much
us.
better than we deserve. So coming next week, margarita stuff.
Margaritas. Also, we're gonna have our first run of t-shirts out soon. So we've already asked on the Facebook group what sizes you might want. If you're listening, you're not part of the Facebook group, but you definitely know you're gonna want a shirt. Just email us. Let us know, or message us on any of the social medias. Let us know what size shirt you would want, especially if you want an XXL or XXL.
Extra medium.
Yeah, those cost a little bit more, but
we'll hook you up.
Need to know who needs it.
That's right. That's right. Now, Steve, the subject of our show today, as you said, is The Mist from 2007.
2007. Why don't we say that?
2007.
Yeah, like before 2010, it was. Well, I just said 2010. Before 2010, everything was 2001.
That's true.
We never said 21.
That's a good question. I hadn't really stopped to think about that before. Before we get into the movie review portion of the show, I really just need to get this hangover just shook off me a little bit. So I say before we start going into this flick, as we step on into the preview palace,
welcome to the preview palace.
I think we ought to just share with each other our favorite hangover remedies, because I got to get something to get this fog, get this mist off of my brain before we can deep dive into this thing, Steve. So usually whenever I get a good old monster hangover, like I said, I get the nausea, I get the dazed, slow brain feeling and stuff like that. And one of my first go-tos has been a Pedialyte.
Okay, yeah, I hear a lot of people do that. Pedialyte or Gatorade, something with electrolytes.
Exactly, salt and sugar, basically, to replenish you. And I find that a Pedialyte works pretty fucking good. I hate Gatorade. I can't drink Gatorade because it just reminds me of like being 6 and having the flu. Yeah. Because since I didn't play sports, the only time I got Gatorade when I was a kid was when I was sick. So I have that associated thing.
Fun hangover story about Gatorade. My friend Charles and I, who... we worked at O'Charlie's in Pigeon Forge together, and we were friends from high school.
Wait, was he Charlie himself? He was O'Charlie?
Yep. I think he got that a lot, and it annoyed the shit out of him. But Charles and I, like, basic server life, which is work your ass off until 3 in the morning and then fucking drink and smoke pot until you pass out and wake up and do it again.
Yeah, every waiter that ever serves you food, that is what they do.
That's what they have to do to survive. And it's... you still will have nightmares about serving. So far
like
for me,
server
like,
PTSD.
I haven't served tables since 2006.
Yeah, so a solid
and
13
I
years.
Still have nightmares of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know a lot of other people do too. That's very common, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a high stress situation. I
Yeah,
know
because-
it's not combat or something, but it's
yeah.
very stressful.
Well, it's so fucking stressful because if you don't ace every table, your ass is working for $2 and fucking 13 cents an hour.
Even if
and
you do
can't pay
ace
your
every
bills.
table, you could still be working for $2.13 an hour.
Yeah, exactly, because you'll work for some fucking asshole that'll stiff you for no reason.
You get a new boss every 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. It is a very stressful fucking job, man. Treat your servers good, y'all.
Ban tipping, pay them.
Just pay the fucking people.
Pay them. I hate tipping. Tipping is the worst. I do it and I do it well.
Yeah,
but
because I know.
Because I know. So many people that come in don't realize this person's not making even minimum wage.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous.
Anyway, so after one particular rager night, we were. I always drove Charles to. He didn't have a car at the time. I always drove Charles up to Pigeon Forge with me, and we're in the car. And I stopped at a gas station because I was just like hung over, and I got the purple Gatorade, whatever it is.
Yeah, the purple kind. It's called.
So I'm just chucking back some Gatorade and driving, and then suddenly I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna puke." Just right on my windshield as
while
I'm
you were driving?
and it was like a spout, just like.
Dude, people think projectile vomiting isn't real until you do
real.
it. It's real.
It's
Sometimes
real
your
as
body
fuck.
is like, get this the fuck out. So you puked on your windshield as
I
you were
was driving.
and it was purple. I bet
It was purple. It was all. That's all it was Gatorade. There was nothing else there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of Gatorade anymore.
I can't even imagine how you clean that up because there's like the air conditioning vents and shit up there at the top.
Yep.
Jesus.
It was a nightmare.
Is that when you had your Cadillac?
Yep.
Oh my god,
I was
dude.
driving a Cadillac, puked all over me.
Could you imagine though if you were on the road next to you and you saw that happen?
Yeah, that's Charles loved it. He just laughed his ass off.
Dude, if I was driving down the road and I saw this guy just projectile vomit purple all over his windshield, I would probably laugh so hard I'd crash the car.
It's hilarious.
That's the greatest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. Why do they even kid themselves with like trying to name Gatorade flavors after anything other than the color?
Yeah,
It should just be orange, red, purple.
Well, some Gatorade aficionados would be like, hold on, there's several blues.
Yeah, it's true. You'd have to call them cerulean, sky blue.
Yeah.
Get into all the technical names of those. Oh, man, so gross. So, yeah, Pedialyte is a good one for me. That's also a good, like, before you go to bed, have some.
Yes.
That's a pretty good scenario.
Yeah.
But, I've also found myself gaining an affinity for coconut water.
Oh, yeah?
For hangover success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, like, Pedialyte's fucking gross.
It is.
It's like, it's got this, like,
I don't love coconut water either, but...
You know what? I don't either. Like, straight up coconut water, I don't like. But I found a couple that I do like. Because, Pedialyte, it's like it has this... You can even look at it in the glass here. It's got this, like, oily sheen.
Yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't look like a liquid. It looks like an oil.
Ugh.
And it's just got that artificial, gross, nasty taste. I still like it better than Gatorade, but I find with coconut water, I kind of have to do one of those blends. That'll be like a blend of like... I found one that's coconut and mango. And I found another that's coconut and pineapple.
Yeah, any of that sounds better than just straight coconut water.
I can't figure out the deal with coconut water because I love coconut in any other form.
Yeah.
But coconut water tastes like fucking musty basement sewage or something.
Yes.
It's like musty tasting, and I don't like it at all. But yeah, the blends for me work really well and tend to rehydrate you pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's one of my first go-tos. What's one of your go-tos for getting rid of that hangovers?
The one I'm using right now, Hair of the Dog.
Oh, by Nazareth.
Yeah.
You have yourself one of those. Now you're messing with the son of a bitch.
Now you're messing with a son of a bitch.
God, Nazareth's awesome.
I like to have maybe a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a drink if I'm really still feeling a bit of a hangover. It doesn't always work. Sometimes makes it worse, but I've found most of the time it levels you out.
Yeah.
Get leveled out, brother.
Yeah, dude. If you don't got any of that bubble level stuff to crack open.
That's it. I should have said that. That's number one. Get leveled
getting
out.
leveled out. I know what you mean. That's one of those like tour tricks. That's one of the first things I think I learned on tour is that if you wake up the next morning and you've got a long drive and you're hungover from the last show or whatever, sometimes just powering a beer down will work wonders for you and just kind of normalize you. You know, probably not a great habit to get into.
Yeah, no, you don't. That is the issue with it. Is if you follow that up with more hair of the dog, you just eventually are an alcoholic.
Yeah, it becomes this vicious feedback loop.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, maybe one drink. And usually all that does is kind of put it off, which gives you time to try some other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rehydrate to get some food in you and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not something I go to a lot because I think it would be habit forming for me. Yeah. But sometimes when it's like, I got shit I got to do, I got to drive, I got to whatever, I got to catch a flight. Yeah. Sometimes you just need you that Bloody Mary or beer in the morning, whatever.
Bloody Mary's a good choice, though. Like, if you go Bloody Mary, all that salt and stuff, and it's
spice.
It's going to help in the long run as well as in the short run.
Right. You know, that kind of leads into my second hangover go-to here that works really well for me, because I find something where you can get some sodium in you and you can get some spiciness and get some heat and start sweating that shit out is going to work miracles for you, which is why I think pho is the ultimate hangover food. I know a lot of people, you know, they love to go for a big greasy nasty burger.
That's one of mine. Is it? Yeah, I like nice.
So you
greasy.
Go for the grease.
Yeah, I want a bunch of protein and grease.
Usually that makes me feel worse. It usually doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like while we were planning this episode, I had myself a nice piece of like wheat toast with avocado and a little bit of bacon, tomato, and egg. Well, you know, a little healthier, I guess. Yeah. And that hooked me up pretty good. Didn't cure me like a big old bowl of pho would though.
And pho is the cure-all. It also has a bunch of salt in it, which is going to help you.
Yeah, and some sugar, too. A lot of pho broths are a little bit more sweet and stuff, so you're kind of replenishing everything your body doesn't have in it. I swear, I don't think there's anything that pho doesn't cure. If you're sick, if you got sinus headache, whatever, pho is
go for it.
Nature's medicine. Love
Fuck yeah.
What about you? What's next?
Yeah, greasy food, but what you got to have with that greasy food is a coffee.
Yeah. Get you a cuppa.
Got to get some coffee. You don't want to get too jittery when you got a hangover, but you want to get a little bit of caffeine in you.
That's the issue that I've had in the past. Is like coffee is also a remedy for me as well. I mean, I'm having it every morning anyway. Yeah. But especially when you're hungover, it's like just that jolt of caffeine will really help set you straight. But yeah, I've also overdone it where I'm like, I've had my coffee, I'm still hungover. I'll have another cup, and then my like jittery clam hands become like electric. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Now I feel like shit plugged into a wall socket.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Yeah. And that's when like I've gotten like the cold sweats and shit like that too. Be like shivering and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. It's terrible, man. That's rare that happens, but it has happened.
Yeah. So yeah, for me though, if you sit down to maybe a big omelet and some coffee, that's good. That's good stuff.
That's why I like above aspirin or ibuprofen or anything like that, a good old goody powder or a BC powder. That's what you should fucking take if you have a hangover. To me, those are like instant health. Those have saved my ass very, very many times.
BC powder, it's the power. The power of BC. Remember that commercial?
No, is that an actual jingle?
A commercial, yeah.
That's the least creative thing I've ever heard.
And I think, man, it had some NASCAR guy. The guy who always wore the cowboy hat. What was his name?
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty. Yeah. He was the BC powder guy.
Fuck yeah. Richard Petty's my spirit animal.
He looks like the coolest guy in the South.
Pretty much.
That hat and the mustache and everything.
Shades, always rocking them shades.
Always wearing shades.
I like those goody, what's it, the fast orange, whatever.
Oh yeah, you put them in something and
I just toss them back with water. Yeah, I just snoot them. Just straight up the nose, man. Yeah, those work really well for me. They're probably not something you should do a lot. There's so much aspirin and caffeine. And
and that stuff
blowing a hole in your stomach.
Alcohol and aspirin aren't a great combo for your liver.
Yeah.
Not really the best.
It turns your blood into a substance thinner than water.
Yeah. Though there have been some new revolutions in liver technology.
Yeah.
We may not have to worry about this anymore.
Oh, really?
Right, yeah. They've figured out a way to like make the liver start repairing itself with,
no kidding.
I believe it was with stem cells. So
you can't have those. They're no,
that's babies.
They can't be doing none of that.
Can't save nobody's life with a baby.
Yeah, coffee is always a must-have. Any form of caffeine ingestion. That's a good call to get your head right.
Yeah.
You know, one that I engage in not frequently enough, but I probably should.
Yeah.
For me, one of the ways that I can get a hangover out of me pretty fast is to sweat that thing out.
Yeah, a little workout.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or if it's just too bad, or if I'm particularly lazy, just a really hot shower and sweat it out a little bit.
Okay, yeah. But shower is definitely one of mine. Yeah, getting a hot shower.
But a couple times over the past several years when I've been in my brief fervors of physical activity where I'm like, I'm going to run every day. And then, it lasts for a little while and then I don't anymore. Some of those days where I've just like made myself go out and run in the morning, even though it's like 85 degrees outside or whatever, it's like you'll feel like death. But by the time you're done, it's like, okay, this is out of me now. Now I can continue my day.
You just got to work that shit out of your system.
Yeah, sometimes just sweating all those toxins out works pretty well for me.
Or pull out your sweat into the oldies VHS.
Oh, yeah, Richard Simmons.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, he's going to help your outlook. He's going to brighten your day, help you be more optimistic, help you feel better about yourself.
While listening to Chubby Checker.
Yeah, exactly right. So, I don't know, sweating it out works for me pretty good. You ever try anything like that?
I do prefer the hot shower to sweat it out because I had said I'm an easy puker, and just any
that's
jostling.
Yeah, that's not going to help you out.
Would make me just like, bleh. Though that is for me a pretty good hangover cure. If you just puke it out.
Oh man,
you just puke it out.
But then your life is ruined after that.
That's how
your
you
whole
feel about
life
it.
Is
for me,
ruined
it's just
after
like,
that.
whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm just a fucking bag of juices.
Old juice bag Steve, they call him. Oh man, you got anything else you like to do?
Yeah, there's one final one, and it's a cure-all. The panacea of all medicines. Weed.
Wacky tobacco.
Yeah, get stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, helps.
Yeah, it does.
It dulls the pain. Unlike a lot of these others, it's not going to get you where you need to be, but it's going to make you feel better.
Yeah, it's not actually rehydrating you or
you're still going to need to do
nutrients.
all the other stuff. But what I found sometimes is that my stomach feels so bad I don't want to eat even though I need to, and I can't really keep liquids down. So
it'll settle your stomach down. Yeah.
Settles your stomach, feel better.
Yeah, it really does work great for that kind of thing. It's kind of like what you said about like a hangover beer, where it's like it won't really cure you, but it'll make you feel good enough to where you can start getting yourself some help.
Yes.
And like you said, it really does settle the stomach and stuff too.
It does.
So that helps me a lot as well. That's a good one right there. And no side effects.
No side effects.
Other than going to jail for having a plant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also smoking.
Varies by state.
Smoking is not good in any form.
No, of course not.
It's not good for you. You can get cancer from smoking weed, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why you get a vaporizer.
There you go. Boom shakalaka.
Make yourself a tincture. Maybe you make some pot brownies.
Maybe that works.
I will never do that again. Woo. Every time I do it, they're always too strong.
Oh my god!
Never figure out the right dose.
No, no, way too intense, man. I agree. Well, hopefully that helps you guys out. I'd like to hear some of your all's hangover remedies over on the Facebook page or on the Instagram page or anything like that. Be sure to post those up on there because I'm always looking for new things to try.
Yeah.
Other than not drinking.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. Sure, that's the number one way to prevent a hangover.
Don't drink.
Yeah.
But
also number one way to prevent a good time.
Exactly.
Don't drink.
What are you worried about? Having fun? Good.
Asshole.
I know, right? I know. Well, Steve, the subject of our show today is The Mist.
The Must.
From 2000.
Oh, you watched The Mist?
I watched The Mist.
It was called The Must.
The Must?
Yeah, it was a romantic comedy.
Oh, about two people that must get together?
Yeah.
Aww.
But near the end, something happens that's like innocuous and certainly wouldn't break up any couple. But they break up and then there's a montage and then they get back together.
Oh, okay. So
maybe you've seen
like
it.
All of
it's
them.
all of them. Yeah.
Got it. Well, we'll get to that one too. One of these days, we'll deep dive into that. Was this the first time you've seen The Mist?
No, I saw The Mist back in the day when I was researching H.P. Lovecraft. It came up as like, one of the Lovecraftian horror movies. And it does have the Lovecraft elements. And at the time, I wasn't overwhelmingly in love with it, but I thought it was a good movie. Now I think I appreciate it a bit more after watching it for this, but at the time it was just like, all right. And now it's like, pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. This is the first time that I watched it. I watched it the other night after we had that family dinner outing.
Yeah.
I got back. It was honestly probably a little bit too late for me to be starting a movie. So as I was watching it, I was kind of like, man, I'd like to go to bed. It's about time to go to bed. But I kind of power watched through it anyway. I did get a little like, okay, could this just wrap up? Probably wasn't the best time for me to watch a movie, so I'll give it that. But I watched it for the first time the other night, and I thought it was okay. I'll say before we get any deeper into this, in case you've never listened to our show before, this is going to be very spoiler heavy.
Yeah, obviously.
And this is a movie that you don't want spoiled for you.
No, you don't. The ending is I like it. It's a good twist.
Yeah, very controversial. Seems to be a love it or leave it. I actually already knew about the ending before I watched the movie.
That sucks. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh fuck. Yeah.
I would have liked to have watched this not knowing. That way, that would have been more of a surprise to me. But yeah, if you guys are listening to this and you haven't watched it, I'd say it's worth a watch and check it out.
Give it a watch
before we go and spoil the shit out of it for you guys.
So yeah, and the ending is different than the Stephen King novella that this is based off of.
Now that came out in like 1980.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
No, I have not. Frank Darabont had been trying to get The Mist made. He wanted it to be his directorial debut. Because he was enamored with the story and really liked it and wanted to do something with it. So,
and Frank Darabont, we talked about on the show, is he was the writer of like Dream Warriors.
He wrote Dream Warriors, yeah. He also wrote the Blob remake, which people
I've heard is really
love.
good. I've never seen it. I want to check that out.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember liking it.
And he's also done other Stephen King stuff. He did The Green Mile. And he did Shawshank Redemption.
He wrote and directed the Shawshank Redemption, which was a directorial debut.
That was his debut.
That was his debut.
Holy shit! Coming out swinging.
Yeah,
that's an awesome movie.
Well, I mean, he had directed stuff for TV. He directed a made-for-TV movie called Buried Alive, which some people may have seen. I saw it. It came out in '90. It was on USA.
Oh, okay. Wow. USA Network. Yeah. Man. Jesus.
It was pretty good. It was a pretty good made-for-TV movie. But yeah, Shawshank Redemption came out swinging. Then The Green Mile.
That's a depressing-ass movie, by the way.
Serious.
I watched it once, and it was like, that's great. I never want to watch it again.
Never want to see that.
So fucking depressing.
He also developed and executive produced the first season and part of the second season of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, because he's got like a big lawsuit going on against AMC right now, right?
AMC fired him to lower the budget, basically.
Wow. Nice.
Like, he was the one who developed it from a comic book into the show that I would say the first 2 seasons at least, not controversial, that most people like them.
Yeah. Well, and it did so much to revitalize the horror genre and get it onto people's TV screens. I don't really like it, but again, I give it a lot of credit for normalizing horror and zombies and brutality and shit. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and I love that it definitely is the reason why AMC invested so hard into horror after that. Like, you know, they've done so much other stuff, and they have Shudder, which is just a horror streaming service. Like, thank you, AMC. I love Shudder. It's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we would take money to say that.
Yes, indeed we would.
Wink, wink. But yeah, so yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff. He wrote Mary Shelley's Frankenstein
with De Niro and stuff.
Yeah, he did the adaptation of that. I like that movie a lot.
It's been a long time since I watched it.
It's a very dramatic movie, and a lot of people don't get into it because of that. Like, it's over the top, but the book is like that.
Yeah,
it's a good adaptation of the book.
Yeah, writing. Of course, it's over dramatic and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that scene in the ice cave with De Niro talking about like the parts he's made of and stuff. God, it's so fucking good.
I don't remember that. I remember that part where like they're making the Bride of Frankenstein and she's kind of half formed, and then they just kind of like flush her down the toilet, and he's like, no.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that being just very depressing to me as a kid.
So yeah, I'm Frank Darabont, great director, great writer. He obviously wanted to do this and was in love with the idea of doing this. So throughout, I'm going to be trying to suss out why he loved this so much in comparison to other stuff he's done. Because it doesn't seem to fit into that mold of... I mean, Shawshank and Green Mile are both Stephen King, but they're nothing like this.
Yeah, they're not really horror per se. And the thing about this is that I think anybody that knows anything about Stephen King and his history of film adaptations, he usually has a pretty big bone to pick with Hollywood and adaptations of his books and stuff like this. I mean, he historically hated Kubrick's The Shining and a lot of the other adaptations.
He very much loves Frank Darabont's interpretation. And I get it. Frank Darabont's 3 Stephen King movies are some of the best Stephen King movies other than The Shining.
Yeah, you can't really argue with that, honestly.
Yeah. You know? I mean, there's Christine. John Carpenter's Christine is great.
Yeah, totally. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, yeah, that was good.
That's a good one.
The new It, obviously.
I'm very
fucking
much
awesome.
I can't wait for part 2. Dude.
Yeah, it's so awesome,
wait.
man.
I think the previews are looking sick.
Yeah. I finally watched a preview and
Yeah, right? Looks sick, right?
Looks awesome.
And the casting is perfect.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
so excited about it. Yeah, but he changed up quite a bit of stuff from Stephen King's source material, which, again, King is usually not a fan of people changing stuff. But
he liked what Frank did,
Yeah, apparently, especially the ending.
Yes.
Stephen King's original ending was a lot more hopeful.
Yeah, it was a happy ending. Yeah.
And this is extremely
Depressing.
nihilistic.
Yes.
But Stephen was like, I really like that ending. I should have written that, which is pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, because it was early in his career, 1980. You know, he's able to look back on his work and at least be self-critical.
Sure.
And that's positive.
Yeah.
I mean, any shit we talk about Stephen King is never to overshadow the fact that he's certainly a master of horror and one of the, you know, biggest and most important horror writers ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So when I say I don't like Stephen King's dialogue, I'm not saying Stephen King is bad. Stephen King is fucking awesome. He's Stephen King.
Obviously.
I just don't like his dialogue.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So he put this movie together over the course of a very fucking long time. I mean, you're talking about 1980 is when it was written.
Yeah.
2007 is when the movie
so
came
27 years later.
Jesus,
so Frank Darabont had been thinking about this and really plotting it out. And I think that comes through a good bit. That I don't feel that there are wasted moments in this. The pacing is maybe something people would say is not great.
Yeah.
But I think it works for the story. It seems slow at times. Certainly goes from like high action to slow to high action to slow.
That was one of my biggest problems with the movie.
Yeah.
Is like rather than having that sort of slow acceleration of building and building and all the personal drama inside of the grocery store getting crazier and crazier, it just kind of felt like this little thing happened.
Yeah.
Okay, now it'll chill out. Now this little thing happened. Okay, now that chills
Yeah.
out. It just kind of felt like a bunch of tiny events strung together by periods of non-action. But I had a problem with the pacing.
I think it's more true to life, though, because in reality, the people wouldn't turn on each other quickly. It would take a while. It would take some, you know,
It'd be the
annoyance.
result of a bunch of little incidents.
Yes.
You know?
And so I think it matches reality.
I guess
but maybe that doesn't make for the best pacing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's just because it's realistic doesn't make for good quality entertainment or anything like that. But yeah, you have a point about that being a little bit more true to life as far as how that would go down. That's true. Now, this is made for a pretty low budget.
Yeah, 18 million.
Wow. And I think it made like 25 or something at the box office.
57.
57?
Yeah,
Shit.
so it was a fucking hit.
Wow.
I mean,
I was wrong. Okay.
Yeah, 18 million, that's really not a lot considering. I feel like if they had spent 10 million more, the CGI would have looked better.
I wish they would have.
Or if they just not used CGI.
I wish they would have done that too.
Yeah.
You know,
because the creature design is cool.
The creature design is cool in
well,
this.
several creature designs. There's several different creatures, but
yeah, there's kind of like, I guess the first things we see are these like octopus tentacle kind of things, and then there's the kind of wasp bird ones,
and then later they see that gigantic one that's
that
just like,
thing looks dope.
Yeah,
that thing looks cool as fuck.
It looked kind of like the Cloverfield monster too.
Yeah, I can see that
a little bit.
I can see it. It reminded me of like Troll Hunter when they see that big giant troll like off in the fog. That's really what it reminded me of more than anything. That's one of the points where the CG actually didn't look that bad because it was all shrouded behind
was in the
fog.
mist. Yeah.
So you just kind of saw this like form.
And I would say the bugs don't look bad. The bug ones look okay, whereas the tentacles just don't. They don't look right.
No, they don't look good. They have that thing that all that early millennial CGI does, where everything looks too shiny.
Yeah.
By comparison, everything looks kind of slick and wet, even though it's not.
Yeah.
You know, they could have done better, and it didn't help too that a lot of those scenes were like in bright grocery store light.
Yes.
Like if it was much darker. You know, which they could have made those scenes like in the back with the generator. They could have made that darker, and it would have hidden that CGI better.
And originally, this was supposed to be shot in black and white. That was how Frank Darabont wanted to do it.
And there is a black and white version of this, right?
Which I watched, and one of our listeners sent it. Didn't write down who it was. I'm bad.
We're bad at names today.
Yeah.
We're hungover, guys.
Sent it to us, and a bunch of people recommended it. So I watched it. And I'll say for sure, it makes the CGI look better.
I would say so.
And I think if Frank Darabont could have shot it in black and white, which he wanted to do, instead of it being decolorized, it would look amazing.
Right. Yeah.
But because it's decolorized, it just doesn't. It doesn't look right.
It doesn't have that sharpness that true black and white does.
It improves some moments, but a lot of them, it just it doesn't look right.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see this in black and white. And I think, we'll talk, about the themes and stuff, but I think the black and white would have played into one of the major themes that this movie has.
Right.
Of just like the idea of pure right and wrong.
Yeah.
And then all the areas of gray in between. Like, you can't capture that with decolorizing. With black and white, you catch the gray, you catch like the exact shadings and tints like perfectly.
Totally. And
but when you decolorize it, it's just not right.
Yeah, everything is just kind of gray and washy.
Yeah.
Like there's no true black, there's no true white or anything like that.
Yeah, but I get why people recommended the black and white version, because it really does improve a lot of the way the creatures look and stuff.
Right. Yeah. I would imagine so. And didn't you say too that this was shot on film and then digital effects, which is not a recipe for success? Yeah,
but also in 2007, I mean, we did Dog Soldiers, which shot digitally, and 28 Days Later, which was shot digitally.
Right.
And they look bad now.
They do. They look very dated.
Even though Dog Soldiers had, of course, those amazing werewolf designs, the digital film kind of fucks with how everything looks. So I think it was a smart choice, but then I don't know how well film and CGI interact with one another,
especially in 2007.
Yeah, I don't know that it was the right call, but the digital probably wouldn't have looked great. So
yeah, it's true. This is just kind of not the right time to do it. There are a few practical creature shots in there.
Yes, there are.
Like whenever they cut that tentacle off. And then it kind of like writhes around before it turns into like goo, which is CGI again. But there for a second, it looks like that is an actual effect, latex fucking rig, and it looks pretty good. Well, and then some of the makeup special effects are good. The guy that gets all burnt, those burn effects are great.
Greg Nicotero did the makeup effects.
So why didn't they just let him do more?
He did the creature design, but I guess they just wanted to go digital with the creatures for some reason.
So who did the digital effects for this then?
The people who did the digital effects for Pan's Labyrinth.
But those are really good.
Yeah, I think they took more time on it and had more money. That's what happened.
Time and money do tend to solve problems like this.
They do tend to improve those things.
They don't tend to make things worse usually when it comes to special effects. Yeah, that was one of those things for me that just made this whole movie feel kind of like cheap, made-for-TV, sci-fi channel kind of feeling. And it's like, I realize,
which if it were that, I would this movie would get even more respect from me, because I'd be like, holy shit, for a sci-fi channel movie?
TV movie?
Yeah.
It's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But yeah, as it was, it just kind of kept pulling me out of the movie where I was like, man, that just looks real shitty.
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever feel like anybody's in danger when it's just a shiny CGI
that they're just
tentacle.
looking at a tennis ball on a stick.
That too, right? And it's like, I understand that some of those creature effects would have been hard to do practically if they wanted to film them the way they did. Like when the big wasp things are like landing on the glass. If you wanted to do that practical, you couldn't shoot it that way.
Yeah.
You could make some great like insectoid monster creature things, and then you'd have to film them in certain ways that didn't show them just explicitly landing on the glass, crawling around and shit like that. It'd make you get more creative with it, which would be fine.
Honestly, because for me, the bugs don't look that bad. You do the bugs digitally, that's fine, but do the tentacles, like actual tentacles.
Yeah, there's no reason
that wouldn't even be hard.
No, not at all, man. Yeah, you could have a dude's arm inside of a tentacle, reach out and grab somebody,
there
and
you go.
Done, and it would look better than that, Yeah, I don't know. I would say that the special effects in this are a bit of a downer for me personally. Definitely something that I would knock this movie for. And these monsters are kind of coming through a rift, a portal of some sort. It's never really explicitly said what's going on, but they're just kind of like, we did this project. We were trying to open up a window, but it was a door.
Yes. Which may remind you of a little show that some people watch. I don't know if everybody's seen it.
I don't know.
It's kind of obscure. Called Stranger Things.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Very much influenced by Stephen King's work, and obviously hugely influenced by The Mist, because this idea of them trying to open a window and then accidentally opening a portal and stuff getting through.
That's Stranger Things, isn't it?
Right, and then Lovecraftian horrors, Stranger Things. Like, The Mist and Stranger Things have so much in common.
It's funny because I didn't even realize it while I was watching it. It never even fucking crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And then we were talking before the episode, and you're like, it's like Stranger Things. And I was like, holy shit, it is like Stranger Things. Like, if you took The Mist and gave it the cast of The Goonies, that's Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. and really, you could see The Mist as a prequel to Stranger Things in some way, because this, they intentionally tried to make it ambiguous as to what year it was.
That's true. Yeah.
So like you see the cop cars in the beginning are 80s police cruisers. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and the military uniforms are older military uniforms,
I did
not
notice
updated.
That. They didn't look new, yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted it to be a bit ambiguous. So, like, this could be... Because, like, you see... I think one of the first time Will sees the Upside Down, what he sees is a grocery store that's, like, destroyed, and that big fucking creature, like, looming over it, which... could basically be like...
That could be a scene in this movie.
Yeah, a scene in this movie at the end. Like, if they were to show that instead of... You know, this does have... It has a very depressing ending, but also not a depressing ending. Like, basically the mist goes away.
That's true. The good guys do win.
The good guys do win, but also the good guys lose. So, yeah.
But, you know, really, whenever you think about this originally being written in 1980...
Yeah.
That makes it even more like Stranger Things.
Exactly.
Really, really, really.
Yeah. So those Duffer Brothers, I think, you know, I mean, they've never been cagey about how much influence Stephen King has.
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
I'm sure they would readily admit that The Mist is a big influence.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously the monsters are very Lovecraftian, just with him having this, like, you can't really recognize it as anything from our Earth, and their tentacles and they're slimy and gooey and stuff.
Stephen King is certainly the spiritual successor to Lovecraft, and has... You know, again, he would not deny his huge Lovecraft influence. So yeah, the creature design is very Lovecraftian, tentacles, etc. Like incomprehensible body, basically. Whatever that tentacled thing was.
What's
like,
it attached to?
Yeah,
don't even know.
Yeah, and then there's like, you know, the bug creatures, etc. Yeah.
Do you think it'd be a good idea if we started up a small chain of arts and crafts stores that were centered around dark and gothic subject matter called HP Loves Crafts? Do you think we could do that?
Yes.
Trademark Dead and Lovely.
Trademark Dead and Lovely.
Yeah, you heard it here
first.
We're
going to open HP Loves Crafts.
Yeah. We're going to have digital coupons and stuff when we'll on the next episode.
Like, you know, the stuff to crochet a Cthulhu or something.
Exactly.
Maybe a Shub Nagurith in the back.
Ooh, I like this. This is coming together very nicely. Coming soon to HP Loves Crafts. It's our new sponsor.
It's our new Etsy store.
Yeah.
Go on over there.
So yeah, you got the Lovecraft influence. Anything else that you see kind of coming into play with this?
Yeah. There's an episode of The Twilight Zone that I would say was probably an influence on the original story. It's called The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. And it's really just basically about a small neighborhood being cut off by, you know, not having phone service or whatever. And then everybody coming together and their paranoia building and building and building and turning on each other.
It's kind of a dystopia, Lord of the Flies-y.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies, I would say, is also an obvious influence because Lord of the Flies, of course, has children, you know, leaderless, rudderless children trying to figure it out, but it was supposed to be an allegory for all of humanity. It's true that we're all that. Like, if stuff crumbles, a lot of people couldn't handle it. They wouldn't know what to do and would freak the fuck out.
Yeah, because this is also kind of about that societal sort of crumble and people going back to their base instincts to survive.
And you immediately start seeing the tensions between reason and religion.
And everybody pairing off into little factions and stuff. That kind of tribalism that will occur whenever humans are present.
Yeah. And I think one of the central themes of this is it's imagining a world in which Christians are right.
Okay, this is an interesting thing that you just sort of touched on during the party last night, and I was pretty fucked up when you were talking about it, so I don't quite remember what it was.
Right,
so why don't you run it by sober Ben?
Okay,
what you're talking about.
So the trials and tribulations that you read about in Revelation in the old Bible.
Behold, a pale horse, a beast with 7 heads.
Yeah, a beast with 7 heads.
Like that.
That's some Lovecraftian shit, isn't it?
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically these Lovecraftian horrors that are biblical horrors show up, and the people who follow religion seem to be blessed by them. Like when that bug lands on Marcia Gay Harden, what's her name? Mrs. Carmody.
Carmody, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't sting her for some reason. It just doesn't.
Yeah, and she's all of the attitude like this is the end times and all that kind of thing, which pretty much every major religion kind of has this hard on for the end of the world. Where when it starts happening, they're like, cool, I'm right.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and we also have, oh shit, she's from The Walking Dead. I think
her name's Amanda.
Short-haired lady.
Yeah.
What is her name? I feel terrible for not remembering her name.
She's
She's
a blonde
awesome.
one or the brunette girl?
No, the one with like very short hair.
The very short hair girl. Yeah. She comes back
early.
at the very end.
Yeah, and comes back at the very end. She seems to be this display of having faith. She walks into the mist. Everyone else who goes into the mist just dies.
Yeah.
But she has this faith and desire to save her children that somehow protects her. So, like, again, this world seems to be that basically Mrs. Carmody is right. And
that's
the people
interesting because
who
I hadn't
end
thought
up
about it that
punished
way.
are the people who are good people, but didn't accept the gospel.
Didn't have faith.
Yes.
Which is
and it shows the horror of what that world really is. It's basically saying to Christians, like, you're cool with this. Like, you can imagine a day where all the good and wonderful people you know who are not Christian are going to be tortured, annihilated by monsters, and have to deal with this terror because they didn't accept what sounds delusional and crazy. Like,
you want this,
and you're okay with that.
You're like how? Cool, I was right.
Yeah. So like I think if it has a fully happy ending, like Stephen King's original does, it kind of undercuts that message. So having the depressing, like, killing your friends to save them from the torture of being killed by these insane monsters, and then finding out that they're gone now, and now you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. He was a good person. He was doing the right thing in the right moment, but he's being tortured by it because, again, he didn't accept what was said to him by a crazy person.
You know, it's interesting because I can see everything that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then I can also see the other side of it where it's like, okay, all of these things, these monsters that start showing up, it's just because some government guy accidentally opened up a portal into another dimension.
Oh, for sure.
It's not the end times.
It's not the end time. And it ends in a day.
Yeah. So it's not Revelation.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't happen.
Right.
And then when that wasp thing lands on Marcia Gay and it doesn't sting her or kill her or whatever, well, it's because she was standing stock still.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all it.
Maybe that's all it is.
But she sees it and she's like, oh, it's because I have faith and blah, blah, blah. And these monsters are coming out because it's the apocalypse, yada, yada.
Yeah, and again, those people that are left behind in the grocery store, we don't see what happens to them. They may have all died horribly.
Yeah, who knows?
So, like, my theme that I'm seeing, and it may not be fully supported by the movie, but I think it is. I think that's kind of what he was going for, was just this idea of, like how depressing and disgusting is it that you can sit in church and talk about the end times and be happy and joyous about
totally,
it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
it'll be awful.
It'll be awful. Absolutely awful. And just for you Bible thumpers out there, go ahead and read your Bible instead of thumping it. You're not going to be whisked away into the heavens during these trials and tribulations.
There's a period of 7 years of
where you're just going to fucking deal with it.
It's going to suck.
Yeah.
Real bad.
So you're like, yay to that. I want that to happen. What?
Do you really, though?
Do you? Nobody could possibly want that.
And so what I can kind of see as far as some of the elements of faith in this movie, because I think that faith is a huge part of this movie, because you have all these people who are like, there's nothing in the mist. No, there's something in the mist.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Right.
It's all like, I think the mist basically just kind of represents the uncertainty of what happens when we die. It could be the unknown of anything, but even early in the movie, Marcia Gay is like, it's death. What's in the mist?
Oh, yeah.
It's death.
Yeah, I mean, she's the crazy lady until all the crazy shit she starts saying coincidentally lines up with what's going on. Then everybody's like, maybe she's right.
She's right. Exactly. And I think that that's the thing about the movie is throughout the whole flick, while Thomas Jane's character, David, who's the dad in the movie and stuff, while he was holding his own faith, which is to say he wasn't really sure of what was going on. He just knew he had to keep his son safe and stuff like this. Everything went pretty decently okay.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the movie, whenever, again, mega spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Whenever he decides, well, we're stranded in this car's out of gas. I'm going to kill my son. What's her name? Amanda.
Yeah, Laurie Holden. Amanda. That's her.
And these two other people that were in the car.
Jeffrey DeMunn and that cute old lady.
Yeah.
Who seemed to be anti-government. I liked her.
Yeah. She was awesome.
Cute.
Whenever he makes that decision that the best thing would be to mercy kill these 4 people and then just try my own luck against this or let whatever's in the mist take me out.
Yeah.
Maybe that is him finally being like, you know what? I think that the Christian lady was right.
Yeah.
I think that this is the end time.
Yeah.
Oh,
man, that actually would fit really well with my idea. Basically, it would be saying that, like, at that point, he embraced that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what cleared the mist. In some way, like his embracing of that clears the mist, but it becomes his torture and torment. Like, I seriously feel like you could have waited just a little bit longer. Like, just
they were in that car for like 30 seconds and it's like, guess we should kill ourselves.
Wait until a monster starts attacking the car.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's like,
Boom.
guys, this thing's coming at us.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. It'll be less bad than if this monster tears us all in half.
Yeah, just wait a little.
I mean, they're like, car's out of gas. Guess I'll just kill myself.
Fucking shit. Can't even go look for some more gas or something?
Yeah, like, maybe, or try to hotwire another car on the road or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that basically the movie is showing us that he either had a momentary lapse in faith of his own, or he momentarily embraced this faith that was false.
Right.
And it made him make the worst decision.
Yep.
Because as soon as he kills everybody and he gets out of the car, well, here comes the military, including that one woman who was on the back of that truck who had faith to go save her kids and stuff. She's fine.
She's A-okay. Walked through the mist just fine.
Yeah.
Wait, does a woman get killed by anything in the mist in this?
Or is it just men?
Is it just men that get killed by them?
I mean, surely during like the bug attacks and stuff, surely somebody gets taken out.
Oh yes, Sally. She got stuck. Yeah, the checkout girl, played by Alexa Davalos, who is in Man in the High Castle.
Yeah,
and is adorable.
Yeah, she is. Dude, she gets all stung and she's all swelling up and shit.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Again, the special effects makeup.
Yeah, it's so good.
Looks great. I think
Greg Nicotero is awesome.
Yeah. I think that little side story her character had with like that romance with the military guy was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it didn't really go anywhere.
No. I mean, I guess all that it kind of showed you is that people will embrace each other in times of crisis, but I didn't really need that to make this movie any better.
Yeah. And we do get a little too much focus on the military guys when all they really have to reveal is that
it's kind of their fault.
Yeah, that's it. Like, let's maybe not see them as much. They keep showing shots of them just being off. I get why they're doing it, showing shots off to the side, whispering to themselves to sort of build up this tension of what do they know.
Yeah, what do they know that we don't know?
Yeah, but I don't know. It just doesn't pay off for me.
What do you think about the performances and stuff in this movie? We got some veteran actors, like I said. Thomas Jane, the Punisher, plays
the Punisher himself.
Punisher Dad.
Yeah, Punisher Dad. Marcia Gay Harden is awesome. I love her and everything, and she's amazing.
She's one of those people, dude, that I never remember her name.
Yeah,
but she's one of those people that you've seen her in 8 billion things. She's just one of those actresses that's been in a lot of stuff, and she is amazing. Honestly, I didn't really like her in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think honestly it's more to do with her dialogue. Yeah, I feel like that
every character kind of sounds the same.
Every character kind of sounds the same. And the problem with her character too, to me, is that she seemed to not be aware of what decade she's in. Like the way that she talked and all of her fire and brimstone talk reminded me of somebody that would be more out there like, We've got to quit selling the liquor in the United States and get this prohibition on
or something.
Yeah, the way she talks is very overdramatic and fire and brimstone.
I feel like we need to go to Maine.
Maybe that's just how it is.
Maybe that's just how Maine is. Maybe Stephen King's dialogue is fucking nailing it. Everybody in Maine kind of sounds the same, and it's a little weird.
Maybe we just don't know about it. You might be right. You might be onto something right there. Yeah, because everybody's dialogue in this is not great.
Not great.
It kind of a lot of it felt like placeholder dialogue that they just didn't really finish up, but they were kind of chained to do the lines as they were on the page.
Yeah.
A lot of the dialogue to me is very stilted.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. And doesn't sound exactly the way people would talk.
No, especially her. Thomas Jane, I think, does an okay job.
He does an okay job. Andre Braugher, Captain Holt, 99. Andre Braugher's great in everything. He can't be bad. I just don't think the man is capable of doing a bad job.
Wait, which one is he?
He's Brent Norton. He's the neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah. He was great in this. He's actually probably, I think, the best performance.
Yeah. And he dies halfway through the movie.
Yeah, which is too bad.
I would say it might be either him or Toby Jones, who plays Ollie Weeks.
Again, another guy who you see in everything, and I never know his fucking name.
I feel like his line delivery was the most natural of it. Like, he somehow made the lines work in a way that not everybody else was able to do.
Yeah, I agree. Weirdly enough, I think the kid is one of the better actors in the movie. The kid does a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, he does a really good job. William Sadler, who plays the mechanic guy who, when they're trying to fix the generator.
Oh, right. Yeah, that guy.
You've seen William Sadler in a ton of things. I think he played the president in Iron Man 3, or like he's in a ton of shit.
Yeah, he was one of those cats who I was like, what do I know this guy
everything,
from?
Basically. Like everything. These are all great character actors. It's like they're in everything. So they did a good job casting, and a lot of these are people from stuff that Darabont had done before. Jeffrey DeMunn is in, I believe, Shawshank, and William Sadler's in Shawshank.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also he would end up later working with them on Walking Dead. Laurie Holden was in the first few seasons. Then so was Jeffrey DeMunn. And I feel goddamn terrible. I can't remember that short-haired lady's name. Fuck, she's so good.
Yeah, she is really, really good in this. She's not in it very much.
She's not in it much, but she has a real emotional speech, and it works.
Yeah. I thought the guy the lady that played the wife at the first of the movie, she was all right. She's barely in it, though.
Yes, she's barely in it, and she is so good, and she's in a lot of stuff too, and I don't remember her name.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who are not necessarily A-list, but it's a bunch of actors and actresses you've seen in everything.
Melissa McBride is the name of the short-haired woman. Yes.
There we go. We got it now, man. Yeah, so overall, the cast and stuff, and this is pretty good. I think that the dialogue could have used some more spit shine, personally. It feels like lines lifted from a Stephen King book.
I mean, basically, like, if they had just brought those lines to them and just sat them down and been like, how would you say this? How do you feel it would work best? Like, just do a little work.
A little more faith in the actors and actresses on board maybe would have made this a little bit better.
But again, such small budget, they probably just didn't have time to do that.
Now, what did you think about the soundtrack in this flick? It's not good.
No, especially at the end.
At the end,
hated that at the end. Is that the Dead Can Dance?
Apparently, song? Yeah, I think so. There's not a lot of soundtrack in the movie. A lot of it is just silence.
But then it comes in at the wrong moment with the wrong...
Oh, dude. I swear to God, man. Like, the main soundtrack cue that I can think of that plays several times throughout the movie and at the very end after he realizes he killed all these people for nothing... It reminds me so much of that part in Team America World Police where he's like sneaking into the tavern as Ahmed.
Yeah.
And he's like, the eyes burned like the eyes of Allah or whatever. And the soundtrack is like, oh, Shakudo. It's like that kind of Middle Eastern sounding
stuff. It sounds like a Muslim call to prayer, kind of. It's not.
It sounds like generic, quote, exotic music.
Yeah.
And it just sounds really dumb and out of place in this, dude.
Yeah, I just
didn't
so
like it. Over dramatic. And I honestly think even just like having a human voice going, oh, is very distracting and just takes you out of the moment of the acting that's going on.
I feel like at the end, no sound would have been better.
It would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
mimic the shock that Tom Jane is feeling.
Yeah, make him feel and look and sound truly alone in the world.
Yeah, he's
at
not,
that point.
In his head, he's not like,
And then other things too that I noticed in this movie, like other than soundtrack being really shitty when it was there, during those times where there's not any soundtrack, a lot of times it's too quiet. Like you got those scenes
too quiet.
Yeah. Well, like you've got those scenes in the grocery store where there'll be, I mean, how many people do you think are in there? Like 100 people are in
Yeah,
the
I'll say
grocery store,
100,
right?
but it's probably a little less than that, but let's say 100.
And you've got characters like Thomas Jane and Marsha Gay Harden, Miss Carmody, and they're having some like big philosophical debate about what's going on. And like nobody in the rest of the store is talking. It's like they have the silent agreement to let one person at a time talk.
Yeah.
Have you ever been around a crowd?
Yeah.
They don't do that.
It gets loud as fuck.
Yeah. And you have a lot of, oh, shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
stuff like this. Like the way the crowds in this behave, it's like there are a bunch of NPCs, like non-playable
Yep.
characters in the town square in your favorite RPG where they just kind of stand around and do nothing. It's like too quiet. There's like no ambient noise. There's no people talking amongst themselves.
Yeah,
No
there would
rabble,
be a
rabble,
lot,
rabble.
There'd be a lot more.
There'd be a lot more rabble.
Yeah.
Lot more rabble.
rabble.
In there. Yeah, it just struck me as like very strange. Where it was like, do they just let one person at a time talk in Maine? Is that what they do?
I think so.
Again, maybe he's doing
Whoever's
it right.
holding the conch. Yeah.
Oh, they're the ones who get to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever there was soundtrack, I just found it very
Yeah, it didn't
distracting. Didn't like it.
So let's talk about Expiation, Ben.
I don't know what that is, so I can't
Expiation!
talk about it. What that is?
The shedding of blood.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Yeah,
Look
somehow
out.
the shedding of blood's supposed to fix things. You know, they used to sacrifice animals, blah, blah, blah. Then they sacrificed Jesus, etc.
That guy. Aztecs sacrificed a lot of people.
Sure did, didn't they?
Lots.
Boy, I bet it fixed things.
I don't think it
That's
did.
why the Aztecs are still around.
They're not.
They're not?
No.
Oh.
Not with us anymore.
Right. Yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, those don't really work. Yeah, she kind of, Marsha Gay suddenly has this idea to like sacrifice the boy, which I'm like, where's that in the Bible?
Jesus.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what they were going for, was a direct Jesus allegory. Just,
Why'd you think that killing that boy would fix anything?
he's innocent. Shedding of innocent blood somehow. Like, I mean, that's what Judaism and Christianity are based off of. It's something that they, again, look at like it's a positive. Like, Jesus went into the Garden of Gethsemane and shed blood from every pore due to great pain and felt all the world's pain and agony and sins. And people are like, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Amen. And it's like, why the fuck is that good? I get that what it's supposed to mean is he understands and feels you because he's felt exactly what you feel. But that's not the part they focus on. They focus on a man on a cross. They focus on the fucking brutal death and
Quite grim.
crucifixion. Yeah.
Catholics keep him hanging up there all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, give that guy a break. Let him
Yeah.
down.
No, this is seriously like wearing your crucifix would be like wearing a gun to honor Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, fuck.
Like, this is in remembrance of Martin Luther King
This
Jr.
is the thing that killed him.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, it's ridiculous.
I'll wear this airplane around my neck to honor Leonard Skinner.
And Richie Valens.
And the Big Bopper.
The Big Bopper.
R.I.P. Fuck
Yeah.
planes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy that, like, I think that is, you know, a thing that's going on throughout, where it's just kind of exposing not entirely the insanity, but the bloodlust that comes with accepting these parts of the religion. Like, there has to be some, like, there's some form, I think, of, like, you become a spectator to these things. As you're being told all this stuff about Jesus, you're imagining it. You're imagining this horribly brutal and disgusting thing happening. And your brain is trying to, like, you know, obviously deal with it however it deals with it, but you're forcing yourself to like it.
Yeah.
Like that, and then basing your life on the idea that it's good.
Right.
And if you expose that a little bit, it starts to be like, that's real disgusting.
Well, that's the funny thing, though, isn't it? About, and I'm not just going to pick on Christianity in
Well,
particular.
yeah, no,
but, like,
fuck
about-
every religion.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. Fuck them all. But like the thing about basically any major religion that's, I guess, of the traditional kind of faith and stuff like that.
Any Abrahamic religion.
Any Abrahamic
basically, is what you're
religion,
saying,
yeah, is that it's all about rejecting things that humans naturally want to do.
Yep.
It's like humans want to fuck. The Bible says, don't fuck.
Yep.
Abraham wanted to keep his son. Bible says, sacrifice your kid.
Yep. And then Nah, I was just kidding.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Nah, fucking around.
J/K.
This that ram that's stuck in that thicket over there, kill it.
So it goes...
I still want blood.
Give me blood. It goes with reason then to also have this idea that the number one instinct in any living creature is stay alive.
Right.
And in faith it says, welcome death.
Yes.
It's all about
And
rejecting
worship it.
everything that comes naturally to you. Which to me is just one of those things that's just crazy and hard for me to understand as somebody outside of the perspective of that.
Yeah.
But there just seems to be just overall this notion of reject everything that your body and your experience is telling you to do, and that is good.
Yeah. To the point of even like reject your body.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like, when you die, you should be joyous.
Yeah. Well,
Oh
then
my
you've also
God, the
got
things that await you in death. Like, and how does that, I mean, that starts obviously from a good faith argument. Your child asks you what happened when you die, and you don't want them to be sad. So you make something up. But then after a while, these children all come together and they say, oh yeah, this is what my parents said too. And then they all start to just base their lives on it.
Yeah.
To base their life on what will happen when they die.
Exactly.
Instead of living the life they
what
have.
happens when you live.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. And you got to think too, that perspective of this looking forward to death and saying that there's good things coming after you die.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes too from, you got to think, during the time period when these religions and stuff were created, most major religions, life was hard.
Fucking hard.
Life was really fucking hard.
And people died a lot. And a lot of the people who died were babies.
So it probably made you feel a little bit better in life to think, oh, there's something better after this.
Yes, of course it makes you feel better.
You know?
Of course it would. To live, like, for the child that grows up in poverty and dies on the street from hunger, to at least have the hope, the thought that, well, you know, I'll get
better
something.
later. Yeah, later.
I wouldn't take that from them.
No.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not true.
But I think in this movie too, you get to see the sick side of that, where Marcia and the people that she like inspires in the grocery store that just become so obsessed with like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is foretold. It's supposed to be this way. Don't even try to fight it.
Right.
It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it again at the very end when we find out, oh no, total bullshit. Like military guns can beat it.
Yep.
You know, science,
Here they
technology
are.
can beat
Yeah.
it. I think that just kind of shows that dirty underside of this, where it's like, if you just let these things make you welcome death to such a point that you're like, whatever, it's supposed to happen, fuck it.
I'm
not
gonna
good.
give the most real world example of how they are currently doing this. Global warming.
Let it happen.
Yeah. Because Jesus is coming anyway. I've even seen people argue that global warming is the result of Jesus being close to coming back.
He's coming in hot.
Because the earth is supposed to be baptized in fire.
Oh, God, no.
Yep.
Are people seriously?
Yes.
I wish they wouldn't.
I wish they wouldn't either. I wish they would accept the first thing that Adam was told about the earth, that he was supposed to take care of it.
Be a shepherd of it and stuff.
Fucking shit.
Oh, my God,
Let's avoid
dude.
that. Oh, I'm all for that baptism of fire. It's going to be great. What?
Look at it this way, man. For all of us absolute heathens that are going to be left behind after y'all get vanished up to heaven.
Can you imagine how awesome the world would be at that point? Actually, oh, buddy, yeah,
man.
you took all of our problems.
It's like, finally,
thank you.
some peace and quiet.
I'd actually
am I right?
become happy. I'd be like, thank you. There is a God, and He's looking out for us. He took all the assholes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty thankful for that. I'd be like, and you know what, guys? While we're alive, let's get on this stem cell stuff. Let's see if we can work with
start
that.
fixing
make
the
our lives
earth,
better.
etc. Yeah.
Yeah, in a weird, fucked up way, that would make me thankful to my Creator.
Like seriously,
That sounds so bad.
Just imagine the people like the evangelicals who are big Trump supporters. Like, if they're right and Trump is a godly man, God's a fucking
He's an asshole.
prick.
He's a fucking dickhead,
Like,
dude.
seriously?
Woo,
if that's
the guy?
If that's your religion and that's your belief, you are what you always claimed Satanists are.
Yeah,
You don't
hedonists.
care about children. You don't care about other people. You don't care about the poor. You don't care about widows and orphans. Who said to care about those things? Who was that?
I think that Jesus fella
I
said
think
something
yeah,
about
there
it.
was a fella from Nazareth who was like, hey, you should care about all those people and really take care of them. And didn't really spend much time on, and guns are good.
Not a lot of
Also, I'm very muscular and white.
And women, get down in that kitchen.
Oh boy. Nope, that was Paul.
Yeah.
That was
Paul's
Paul.
kind of a dickhead.
Paul's a fucking dick, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to kind of analyze this movie from those perspectives and see how the people of faith react to this impending doom and their attitudes towards it and stuff versus the people who are more just like, well, I don't know what it is. Because you have other people in this that are very sure that there's nothing out there, which to me, I don't know. Like that's why I would always just kind of identify myself as being an agnostic of sorts, because I just don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
And that is basically, that's what we see is the divide. They're the atheists, the theists, and then the agnostics who are in between.
Yeah.
Basically, like, the people who did see the evidence, they know. Mm-hmm. But then the people that won't listen to them, the atheists, who just are unwilling.
There's nothing out there.
There's nothing out there.
And
they're punished.
Yeah. And because that to me is like, somebody saying, I know for a fact there isn't anything out there. To me, that's just as like pompous as saying, I know for a fact what is out there. I just don't know, dude.
Right. I get that.
You know?
My perspective is certainly, if there is a God, he owes me some answers.
You got some splaining to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot to answer for.
No doubt.
And if he rejects me, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fucking dick.
If that's the case, kind of a dick.
Yeah. So I wouldn't care. I claim myself to be atheist.
Yeah.
To just say, no, there is no God. Because in some ways, like saying, like, all right, so let's say somebody says fairies exist. Mm-hmm. No, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't have to even think about what you just said.
They don't.
That's what I'm saying as an atheist. Because what you're saying is made up. I don't even have to think about it. To be like, well, I don't know, is fine. But it's also like, but they have no proof.
There's zero proof.
There's literally zero proof. They just brought something up out of their head.
That's fair.
And
that's
like,
fair.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real or not. It's not, though.
But it's not.
Fucking not. Like,
yeah, we can agree on that. That's true. It's a good way to look at it.
But I get that. Like, seriously, we don't know what happens after we die because we think of ourselves as something. Like, our
the
inner
default
self
state is existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
We separate our mind and our body. And we say our mind is this one thing and our body is this other thing. Mm-hmm. And from my perspective, there's just, like, no reason for that separation. Mm-hmm. My mind and body are together. Like, you go for that oneness.
The thought that one would live on after the other makes no sense.
Yeah, why would it? Like,
why would it?
Your brain's not firing. That's the thing that makes you think and feel.
Yeah.
Why would something continue? The sad part of that is that I can't imagine what that is. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't experience anything ever again. Mm-hmm. And you're nothing and nobody to anyone ever again.
Well, maybe that's the thing about this movie too, is maybe this movie is supposed to be, because I think that we're looking at it from the perspective of just a bunch of heathens.
Yeah.
But maybe if you're a person of faith, and you're watching this movie and it turns out that you were wrong.
Yes.
Maybe that's what's supposed to be horrifying about this. Is all that stuff you've been living your whole life on. Fucking doomsday and Armageddon and tribulations and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then at the end it's like, or the government shows up and cleans it up and it was just sort of a scientific misfire.
Yeah.
And you've just sacrificed your whole family for it and shit like this. Maybe that's the true horror of like, fuck, what if I'm wrong? You know?
Fuck, what if I'm wrong? That is like
the
a
ultimate
real
question.
Horror. Yeah, like that's...
Which is, to people of faith, that is the thing they ask us. What if you're wrong? Okay. And that's supposed to be horrifying for us too.
It's not. I mean, it is for some people. I get that. A lot of people who are like, what if I am wrong? I like, and it really is like you have to accept it here, and if you don't, fuck, you don't get no heavens.
Yeah.
If it really is like that, then like I can see why you'd want to hedge your bets and just be like, just be safe.
Just be safe. Let's go get baptized.
Yeah. Though again, the Bible would tell you that you're not converted.
Yeah. No.
If you're not converted in your heart, like just saying some words, it's not gonna do it.
Yeah. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
This has been God Talk with Dead and Lovely.
Seriously, this is the most. But I mean, that's what this movie is. It's about religion for the.
Yeah, I think it's about faith and hope and religion and attitudes of death and the unknown.
Yeah.
And I really like what it does with that. Like all of the stuff that we're sitting here talking about faith and right and wrong and hope and all that stuff, I think is really fascinating and very much at the core of the human experience of just like what happens when I die, what happened before I was alive. Like all of those things are questions that have plagued every group of humans ever in history. What happens when we die? What's out there, you know? So I think that there's something very existential about what this movie is trying to touch on. I just don't think it does it that well. This is one of those movies that I would say is really ripe for a good retelling, which apparently there's a TV series or something.
There's a TV series that was canceled after one season.
Oh, so it never got to tell the whole story.
It got pretty good reviews, but basically the thing I got from the reviews is that too increasingly depressing to continue watching. Like,
I don't know how you could make this into like a longer series.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, this is a 2-hour movie and it feels too long.
I mean, yeah, because there's not much to root for.
Yeah, and you're not going places, you're not meeting new characters, you're not seeing new locales. You're in a grocery store for like the whole movie. You know, I don't know how you could do a TV series about that unless it's about just the greater world.
Yeah, I would assume that's it. I meant to watch it, but my internet was out for 24 fucking hours.
So I don't know. This is one of those ones that I would like to see redone with better dialogue, usable soundtrack, and much better special effects and stuff.
And I would want Frank Darabont to do it again.
I'd be fine with
I think he'd be cool with doing it again, probably. I wouldn't mind that. Or maybe give somebody else a go at it if they want. But I think he had all the right fixins.
He did.
Yeah,
it just needed to stew a little more, I think.
Yeah,
need to keep that thing in the oven a little bit longer.
Frank. And a little bit bigger budget.
I thought it was okay. It's not one of those ones I'm itching to watch again. It's not one of those that I would refuse to watch again.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt long, weird pacing, bad soundtrack, bad special effects, bad dialogue. Yeah. But I like the message so much.
Yeah,
man.
It was good.
You know, it's like going to a restaurant where you love the menu, but then all the food's not really exactly right.
Yeah, but you're like, God, I wish it was all good.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. And you see the potential for it being good, you know? So you hope they get a new head chef someday and get the kinks worked out. I think as it is, though, if I'm going to give this thing a final thoughts, final ratings kind of thing, I think I would probably hit this thing with about I'm gonna say 5.5.
5.5.
It's just like barely above middle of the road for me.
It's respectable. Yeah.
You know, if it didn't have the great, cool message and existential thoughts, it'd be like a 3.
Yeah.
You know, I'm almost doubling its score just because the subject matter is cool to me. You know, what about you?
I think just considering some context of this coming out in 2007, around a time where we were starting to see good turns away from torture porn, which had been, you know, pervasive in horror for years.
The post-Saw horrorverse.
Yeah, I like that it went a different direction entirely.
Yeah, it did stand out from the pack of what other horror flicks were doing at that time for sure.
I like the acting a lot. I like the way the story develops. Again, wish the dialogue was a bit better, a bit more individual. I think some of the actors were able to make it their own, but they weren't able to create an entire character out of making a line their own that sounds like something anybody else could have said. So yeah, it could be improved, but I enjoy this movie. It is not one I would watch on a regular occasion.
No, it's not going to be one of those once a year watches.
Yeah. So for me, I like it a little bit better than you. I would say this is about a 6 for me.
I can back that. That makes sense to me.
Which again, for everybody out there, our rating system is literally meaningless.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
If you go back and look at our ratings, like we gave Home Alone a 10.
Because it is.
Because it is. Yeah.
But also The Wraith, a 10.
But like for me, this is I would say a little bit more enjoyable than my middle of the road Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, it is. It's more enjoyable than that. I would watch this before I watch that.
Yeah, but I don't think Autopsy of Jane Doe is a bad movie. Yeah. It's just a middle of the road movie. Nothing wrong with it.
I back up. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about something that I'm going to tell you guys about here in just a second after we tell you guys where you guys can follow us on social media and all that jazz.
Oh, shit.
Woo! We got that Instagram.
We do, at Dead Lovely Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Dead and Lovely Horror Movie Podcast group on Facebook. It's super fun. Come on over, join. Unless you're one of those non-Facebook people. I would really, I hate Facebook in a lot of ways, and
It's
I
the
would
worst.
really love to move completely over to Discord or something, but
Everybody's on the Facebook.
everybody's on the Facebook. That's fine. We have a Discord server. You want that link, you can email us or just check back through the logs on Facebook or whatever. Email us at deadandlovelypod@gmail.com and go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/deadandlovely.
Money.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, Steve, next week on the show, we're going to be talking about a movie, and I really want to hone in on something very specific for our next flick.
Okay.
I'd like to maybe watch a movie that's about a creature that perhaps don't want none unless
Right.
you got buns, hun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me think. There's one with, have you heard of Jennifer Lopez?
Oh, Jenny from the Block.
That's her.
Yeah,
That's her.
yeah. She's from the Block. I know
maybe
her.
you've heard of a young fellow named Iced Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube. Yes, yes. I've heard of him. For tell.
They both star in a movie called Anaconda.
Anaconda, which I don't think I have seen since I was like 12.
Yeah, I actually we didn't know what we were gonna do this week, and we just decided to go with something somebody had suggested.
Yes,
So
this is some leftover $5 Patreon suggestion fallout. This wasn't one of the ones that we drew, but it was in the list, and we were like, oh shit, let's do fucking Anaconda. I think that'll be a fun one, just a shit talk.
it was recommended by Jeremy Loki.
Jeremy
Or
Loki.
submitted by Jeremy
Hey,
Loki,
thanks
yeah.
so much, Jeremy. He's a funny cat.
Yeah.
He's a funny fella right there. So
we are friends on Facebook. Posts funny shit all the time.
he's a meme man. He's one of them meme mans.
a meme man.
That's right. Meme Mr. Mustard, they call him.
A meme man.
So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I got to say, it's interesting doing an episode of this show where I'm not ready to fall asleep or am just like drunk by the end of it.
Right, yeah. And like I'm gonna go home and like do shit.
Yeah.
Instead of just like go to sleep.
Yeah, we have like a big family cookout that we're going to here in just a second. I finished off my Pedialyte and my Stoke cold brew coffee.
I finished off my coffee and my rustic IPA.
I now have to pee very, very
Me
badly.
too.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I gotta say, I don't mind the daytime format.
I don't either.
I think sometimes during the end of some of those really long late night ones that we do, I'm like starting to
Just
fall
start
asleep.
dragging ass.
Yeah, and I know because I edit the show, and I'm
Yep.
like, Ben, you're talking so slow. You know, so yeah, it's kind of interesting doing during the daytime and not getting fucked up.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe we can cross them over sometime and get fucked up during the daytime. and do
Hell
the
yeah,
show.
day drinking.
Well, you guys be sure to tune in next week when we'll be talking about Anaconda, which I think should be a really, really fun time because I don't remember it, but I do remember that it's terrible.
Yeah. But it's fun, terrible. Like Deep Blue Sea fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, you guys be sure to tune in next week. We'll talk to you guys then. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. You guys have been fantastic. We've been Uncle Ben,
At Hollywood Steve.
and we are dead and lovely. See you soon now. Bye-bye. So lately I've been thinking about Pepe Le Pew.
The rapist.
Yeah, the rapist.
Noted
cartoon character.
skunk rapist.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like imagining what the boardroom meeting that led to the creation of Pepe Le Pew was. So I imagine these guys sitting around at Warner Brothers. It was Warner Brothers, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you know, kids, they love animals. We got to have some talking animals in these cartoons. They don't want to see people.
Right.
Yosemite
right.
Sam, he's not a main character.
Nope.
The kids want to see the talking animals. I'm thinking about a character that's a skunk that likes the ladies.
Oh, so he's like, he stinks and he's good with women.
Yeah,
so he's
yeah.
like a French guy.
He's like kind of running them off because he smells bad.
Yeah.
So. No, he's a rapist.
Oh, wait. Hold on. You want him to actually rape?
He forces himself on all the other women. The kids will love it.
Why would... huh. Okay. I'll draw it. Okay. I guess we'll do that. There couldn't have been much resistance.
There couldn't have been much more to it than that.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is, it seems like there is this very obvious through line of like, okay, he's after the ladies, but he smells bad because he's a skunk.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I remember seeing it as a kid and just being like, I'm not sure why this is funny. What's supposed to be funny here? It's like a cat running terrified for its life and a slow stalking skunk just being like, come back to me, my love.
And I think it was also made to like make all of his kids think that like French people were horny all the time. Like they're just all romantic and just want to fuck like 24/7.
Right.
Because like there's nothing really else about him being French other than He likes to bone a lot.
Well, I think the stinkiness, like
maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think they're associating French people with stinking for some reason.